Today, we are going to be showing you some gorgeous pre-owned homes here in the beautiful community of Rogers Ranch. Let's get after it. If this is your first time to our channel and you would like to know everything there is to know about living in San Antonio and its surrounding areas, make sure you subscribe and tap the bell for notifications to ensure that you're one of the first to be notified when we bring you new market updates. My name is Katie Powers, and my husband Stephen Garza and I get phone calls, emails, and texts from people just like you every single day who are looking to make a move. Whether you're 6 days or 6 months away from making that transition, we would absolutely love to hear from you. All of our information is listed right below, and Steve and I would be honored to be your realtors of choice. Now let's dive into the beautiful Rogers Ranch. If you guys have seen any of our videos, you have heard me talk about Rogers Ranch. If I could live in any neighborhood in San Antonio, honestly, Rogers Ranch would be it. People ask me why all the time. It's because of its location. It is halfway in between 281 and I-10 off of 1604. It's close to everything. So make sure you stick around to the very end so you can see the map video to get a really clear idea of where this neighborhood is located and why the location is absolutely phenomenal. Now, we're gonna show you 3 different homes in here and different price points so you can get an idea of what this community offers and if it is the right fit for you and your family. Why don't we go start showing you some gorgeous homes? Let's get after it. All right, welcome to our first stop here in Rogers Ranch. This is a 1-story home with 4 bedrooms and 3 full baths. You're gonna see very old school style. Usually Steve and I are showing you new builds, but you're gonna kind of see the older style floor plans in this one. So this is a very popular room style that they have in this neighborhood. I get a lot of out-of-staters tell me, what in the world do they use this space for? Well, you can do it however you choose when you purchase it. But what they used to use it for is a formal dining and a formal living. You still have a whole separate family room or living area, but I have also seen people put a wall here and add doors and make this an office because they didn't really have offices in these floor plans pre-COVID. A lot of people started working from home after 2020. And so a lot of the newer homes are having offices built in them. But this is a great space. You can definitely use it how you would like. You've got wood floors, hardwood floors in here, and then tile. As we come through, it's going to open up. Coat closet. As we come through, it's gonna open up. You're gonna have your grand kitchen with your living room. You're gonna see lots of built-ins in this neighborhood, but you do have a gas starter fireplace. They have updated the granite in here. It's a little different, probably not something I would have chosen, but you know, not everybody has the same taste. But you do have a really great size island for this age of home. You know, they really just did great. It is electric cooking in this community. You have oven, microwave, your range. Overall, great space, right? This is a great size kitchen. And then you do have your pantry here. So I do want to bring up the range in the island. What do you guys think? I have a range of clients that bring up this is usually the #1 complaint. If it's just you and adults living in your home, typically not a big deal. If you have children running around as a mom, this would be an issue. If I'm cooking here and I have my little 6-year-old, 4-year-old come up and stick their hand, it's just easily accessible. on either side for little ones, so danger. I also want to bring up, this is a downdraft, so you don't have a vent hood above your cooktop. Here you have a downdraft, and this was done through when they were building the property. So if you open up down here, Steve will come around and you can see that it is going to come down into the foundation and move that moisture outside of your home. So just a little different for those of you who've bought pre-owned a lot or an older home. You've probably seen that a lot of times, but I just recently was showing a client the other day and they had never seen that before. So thought we would point that out to you guys. Let's go take a look at the guest suite. Like I said, this one is 4 bedrooms. We're gonna take a look on this side of the home that has its own guest suite along with the laundry room. Let's take a look. Good sized laundry room. And then they did a full bath, which is really great with a walk-in shower. And then you have a very large high ceiling for this age home. This height of ceiling is really great. What do you guys think about the paint? I'm curious. Your thoughts? Drop a comment below, let us know. This brown cream is very 1990s. It's making the rooms feel a little smaller, right? Because it's so dark. So we always suggest, you know, when you're looking at pre-owned homes, don't focus on the paint. Paint's easy. Focus on the layout, the walls, how it feels, because you can always change the paint and it would really brighten up this room and make it feel much more open and airy. We're gonna take a look over here. The garage is located right here. It is a 2-car, just kidding, 3-car tandem. So you've got 2-car entry and then a car here. But it does have some good storage. So you have your water softener. Obviously you could put an extra fridge here if you didn't want to park your golf cart or a car here, but good space overall. Let's go take a look at that primary suite. On this side of the living room, you do have 3 more bedrooms. I do want to point out these pretty little tile bands that they added in. Okay, so we're gonna go primary first, but there are 2 other bedrooms this way. It's a very interesting floor plan. So let's check out primary. First and foremost, you have an extra closet, coat closet, storage. I mean, really, anytime you can get extra storage, it's great. You've got hardwood floors in here. Great size, primary, honestly. With a pretty bay window. It definitely needs new blinds. I would try to open them, but it looks like they're having issues on opening their blinds. So something you'd have to think about. I also want to point out, because this happened, Steve and I bought a home that was built in 2000. This one was built in 97, so right in that same era. Every single doorknob in here is gold. And like, I love gold. I love 2025 gold. It's like a champagne gold. This is like 90s gold and it's everywhere. It's on, this is probably an original fan from 97, to be honest with you. And it's just on every door. So we had to update ours. You don't really realize how many handles you have in a home until you have to replace every single one of them in the home. Not expensive on Amazon, right? We're not talking thousands of dollars here. It's more like time and effort. You just don't realize it. But you've got a small closet over here. And then into the primary bathroom, you do have another larger closet. So you do technically have 2 closets. You've got a walk-in shower with a tub and not frosted windows. So I don't have a whole lot of words because that backyard can see right in here. So either frost the windows or keep your blinds down at all times while you're in your bathroom. But you do have a double vanity sink. What do you guys think of the color in here? It's not even brown, it's like a orange. orangey with green tile. This one needs some love. Needs some love. But that's the age. That's very typical for what you're gonna see in Rogers Ranch. The prices are decent, and then you can renovate them and you'll have the equity already built in because these homes just need to be updated. But let's take a look at the other 2 bedrooms over here. If you have small children, this floor plan might be really ideal, considering that the bedrooms are all very close to you. If you have teenagers like me, maybe not ideal. But you have bedroom here. I do want to point out the flooring has changed. I've counted like 4 or 5 different floorings already. Dark brown, but this is a bedroom. I do want to point out this was built by David Weekley, which is a great builder. So you know that it's a solid built home if it's built by a good builder, right? And really high ceilings for the age of the home. You've got a cute little office area here. If you were to ask me what I would do with this space, because it is kind of a funky space, I would probably take all this out and make this like a small little flex room, because you do have 2 bedrooms here. You could make this into a small little TV room, game room for the kids, and put a door to separate it. But you do have another bedroom here. This would be bedroom 4. These are good sized bedrooms. You could definitely put a double in here. I probably wouldn't go king size unless you put it this way. But good kid bedroom sizes. Closets. Again with the gold everywhere. And then you do have a 3rd bathroom. Let's go take a look outside. All right, so outside you have a pretty deck. They did do the Trex wood, so this deck will be here for quite some time. Look how pretty. It's like your own little oasis over here. Then they got a lower deck here with the flagstone. Just really pretty. The oak trees are gorgeous in this neighborhood. They definitely probably at one point, obviously it's vacant, they're not here to maintain it. But obviously at one point they really had all of these garden beds, you know, really lively and beautiful. This part of the neighborhood is on the front part of Rogers Ranch. This isn't a cul-de-sac, so you do get no through traffic. This one is listed at $567,000. I will say as of July of 2025, that is pretty high. It's probably at least 20K higher than I probably would have listed it due to the updates, but that's the part of Rogers Ranch. You're gonna be in the 500s at minimum, all the way up to about 850 is where we're seeing homes here in Rogers Ranch. But gorgeous neighborhood, and the homes aren't terribly old, right? We're not showing you 1960s homes. This was built in 1997. So the homes were built in late 90s into 2000s. The key on this neighborhood is location. You're gonna hear me say it 75 million times in this video, so I apologize ahead of time, but the location is what drives people to this neighborhood along with the school district and such. But overall, you can expect to be 500s plus in this neighborhood. What did you guys think of this? It's a great 1-story, great space, over 2,700 square feet. You've got lots of room to move and make your own. Let's go check out another gorgeous home.
All right, guys. We are in the beautiful Rogers Ranch. Now, what's the old saying in real estate? Location, location, location. This is location, right? We are located right off 1604. We're 5 minutes from I-10. So right there at the crossroads, you have the Rim Shopping Center. You got Lock and Terra Mall right down the road. You got Fiesta, Texas. Airport's probably 15 minutes away with traffic, 20. you just can't beat this location, as Katie keeps saying in the video. This is one of her favorite subdivisions, and I totally understand it. It's gorgeous. Everybody takes care of their homes. You have different sections in Rogers. It's all gated. Every community is gated, which is great. You have your parkway, which makes you feel like, you know, you're driving into a beautiful area, right? What you want. Now, here's the drawback to Rogers. It's expensive, right? Starts in the 5s, goes all the way up almost to 9, but the tax rate is 2.28. So yes, you are paying for location, but many don't care, right? You get Premier School District, you get Northeast ISD, feeds into Reagan High School, which is one of the great high schools in San Antonio, one of the sought after high schools, depending on where you're from. I'm from Bernie. I think Bernie's the best, but that's just me, I'm biased. But no, Reagan's a great high school. And you know, you're right down the road from Stone Oak, which has a lot of good restaurants, shopping. You got Costco, Costco right down the road. So it's just location. I mean, location talks in real estate. And then, I mean, look at the community, right? Look at some of these homes. They're beautiful. So you can't beat that either. Very family-oriented community. You got HOAs. They're gonna average between 600 and 1,000, depending on where you're at in the community. This one has 3 HOAs, but all the communities have 2 HOAs. So one to Rogers Ranch, and then to whatever community you're in, that's the second HOA. So it carries between 600 and 1,000 a year, but you get your pool, your park, your playground, basketball court, that kind of stuff. So you get what you pay for, right? You're not paying for nothing. The gate, right? And then the pools for the kids. You know, this is one of the premier communities. It's got its own swim team, and I hear they're very competitive. So, you know, it's just a great community in San Antonio, in the sweet spot of San Antonio, and it's always going to hold its value. It just is what it is. You just can't beat it, right? But tax rate is tax rate. You're gonna have to pay those taxes to live here. And so, yeah, let's keep moving on. Let's go see another beautiful home, and then stay tuned for the map video.
All right, welcome to our second stop here in Rogers Ranch. This home is located in the back portion of Rogers Ranch. So our last house, we were in the front, so it was a little older, right? Built in 97. This home was built in 2009, also by David Weekley. You have David Weekley and Sitterly as your builders in here. But this one was built in 2009. It's in the further back portion of the neighborhood. So you're gonna see bigger floor plans, newer things. Again, it's a pre-owned, so you might see some quirky things, but all of those can be addressed. We wanna focus on layout and flow and all of those great things. So right when you come in, you have a gorgeous, very, very large formal dining room. They also went all out, like check out the crown molding. So many new homes don't even offer crown molding anymore, but then you have these really pretty light fixtures, sconces in the wall. Love that. You've got pretty wood floors in here, and then you have an office right over here. This is a really good size office. Quirky things, right? They painted the baseboards black in here, and the window seal black, and the doors. You know, to each their own, right? But when you come out here, it is very bright. You do have the white walls with the white baseboards. So they did some quirky things. You have a half bath right here. And then as you come in here, it really opens up. Now your primary suite is located over here. We're gonna go over that in just a minute, but I wanna show you guys how great this living room. This is a great entertainment space, right? You have a very large living room right off the kitchen. They even have this bar here so you can throw in some bar stools, but easily entertaining, right? Like both of these rooms, for it being an 09 home, the flow is still very open. You also have this gorgeous fireplace. It is gas, so it's a flick of a switch. Takes a minute to kick on, but it will kick on. And then you have this beautiful stone. So Preferences are preferences, right? I would probably put a TV on there. It already has drill marks in there like there was at one point a mount there. Steve hates drilling into beautiful stone, so he might do it differently. But I like things very even, so I would probably do bookshelves on either side, but you can tell that they might have put an additional TV or their TV on a mount over here, as well as they do have the plug outlet for it. And then you have a cute little closet to store things. So overall, great space. As you come in here to the kitchen, you notice that it's just large, right? Lots of counter space, lots of cabinets. They went with a cherry wood color. But on this back portion of Rogers Ranch, we do have gas cooking. But again, we have a range on an island. I genuinely feel as a mom, a gas range on an island is probably even more unsafe than a regular electric gas stop. Not gas stop, the regular electric range, because those light up bright red, right? I don't know. This would scare me as a mom. But overall, gas cooking, lots of counter space, appliances. It's obviously more updated than the last home we were in, right? So we have your pantry over here. It's a little interesting. It's basically the cubby underneath the stairs. And Steve and I just showed one of you wonderful people, Kelly and Nathan. And it's like when you have this massive home, right? 5 bedrooms, and then you have a pantry that's super tiny, or like no pantry at all, like one of the homes we recently saw. How do you feed your children? Where do you put this stuff? Maybe Steve and I are just hoarders and we love Costco too much, but like this house is massive. And in my opinion, that pantry is quite small, but you do have a lot of cabinet space. So you do have a garage out here. I wanted to show you guys this because this is really common. You have stairs coming down from your garage, because we're in the hill country. And so you're being built into a hill, essentially. So it is very common to have steps from the garage into the house, or from the front of the house, or off the back. So just things to think on. This is a 3-car tandem. You've got your water softener. And it's very high. So all of you car enthusiasts, you could put a lift in here. I have seen people do it. You have more than 2 cars, you could put a lift in here and put 5 cars. I have seen people do that in these high garages. I had a client one time who this was on his want list, was a super high garage, because he had like 6 cars. So anyway, let's go take a look at the rest of the house. All right, so back in the kitchen, just wanted to point out, they do have a door here to the dining room. So you could shut that off. You could probably turn that into an office, second office if you wanted to. Just something to point out. Over here you have your breakfast nook, eat-in kitchen, whatever you want to call it, and then a laundry room. All right, let's go take a look at this primary suite. All right, as we come into the primary, big open spaces, crown molding. Again, it's very beautiful, actually. I do want to point out, because it's pre-owned and there's quirky things, they have like hurricane shutters on these windows on the exterior. So it feels a little darker in here. It happens, right? My guess would be that somebody who lived here worked nights and they liked it really dark during the day for them to sleep. That's pretty common. We see those types of things. So again, it's pre-owned. We can get the shutters off. Not a big deal. We can make this very open and airy for you. So as we come into the primary bath, you do have double vanity, lots of space, walk-in shower. It's a little larger than the last, and then a very deep soak tub. Pretty nice, right? And then you have a really large walk-in closet. It's just very long. All right, let's go take a look upstairs. We have 4 more bedrooms to go check out. Let's go take a look. All right, so let's take a look at the first bedroom. I do want to point out every single one of these secondary bedrooms are very spacious, very large. Carpet's not brand new. There's a couple stains here and there, but honestly, overall, it's in pretty good condition. I bet if you just steam cleaned it, you could get out all this little stuff. You clearly have a little girl who lived here. That's why we plan on replacing our carpet when we move, because we have a little girl who loves nail polish. Nail polish and carpet don't go well together. Good size closet. These are a little deeper, but same size. And then you have attic access. So I want to show you guys, if you're not familiar with this, if you're new to Texas, this is pretty common. You have attic access and they put decking down so you can walk on it, you can store things. The AC is not in this section of the attic, it is in another section, but you can store great things, right? All of your holiday change out, right? From Easter to Christmas, whatever. This is a great space to store it. I also want to point out this Tech Shield or radiant barrier. That is going to help keep the hot air out and the cool air in. And then you do have this door here. And some of them have locks, right? So your little children aren't going and hiding in the attic where it's significantly hotter, right? The goal is to keep the hot air out, but it's an attic and it's Texas and heat rises. So it does get pretty hot in there. So you have little ones, keep a lock and key on that. But you do have another full bath over here. This is bedroom 3 out of 5. High ceilings, great space. This has one of the best walk-in closets. You've got this cute hallway overlooking the living room. And then you've got another coat closet here, storage. And then 2 more bedrooms. So these bedrooms have a Jack and Jill bathroom, so they are sharing a bathroom. But again, big space. The walls up here are more of a light gray than the white downstairs with a creamier door and baseboard trim. Walk-in closet. But you're not seeing that like dark brown cream from the 90s, which is kind of nice. You've got a nice bathroom here. And then your 5th bedroom also has attic access. So again, this is where I say keep it lock and key if you have small babies. That's where your HVAC is. So the good news is it's easy access to change those filters, right? Like you're not having to climb in the attic. Now you do have more attic access here. This has pull down stairs for you to access the upstairs attic. But it's nice when they put the HVAC in easy accessible. You're not having to climb upstairs to get to it. And then you also have your closet here. Now I do want to point out, y'all, this is the cutest fan. I've never seen a fan this cute. It's like a little helicopter. My son was into trains, so he probably wouldn't have cared about the helicopter. But like, how cute is that? Okay, now we're gonna show you guys the very best part of this floor plan, at least in my opinion. All of these bedrooms, absolutely awesome. But let's go show you the real bonus of this house. Okay, so all the bedrooms over here, right? Banister down to the living room, all of that, super beautiful. But as you come on this side, it's like a closed off game room. Look how big this space is. This is a massive game room. And for those of you who have loud, noisy children like we do, that scream at their video games and run around and run amok. Having this away from that open banister over into the living room is wonderful. It keeps that sound in this area. So in my opinion, this floor plan is awesome. So you've got speakers in here as well, so you could do surround sound, but then you have a bonus room. This is your media room. Now it does have windows, but I would classify this as a media room. You could put a whole freaking movie theater in here. This place is so big. It's wired for surround sound. It's got 6 speakers in here. This place is huge. Like I would totally put there and do like a massive, what am I trying to say? A massive thing. A couch. You could even put like stacked stairs to make it go up if you wanted to, and then down with your like movie theater seats. You could do a lot with this space, is my point. So you essentially have 2 different game rooms to send the kids up to. Amazing. Okay, let's go take a look at the exterior of the home, the backyard, and I can explain backyards in the hill country. Let's go take a look. All right, let's take a look at this backyard. I mean, I gotta bring it up because how do you get away from this red freaking concrete? They did it in the front, they did it here. I honestly don't know how the HOA allowed it. The HOA probably hasn't noticed it yet. What do y'all think? Obviously, I am not a fan. I think it's absolutely terrible. But if you like red, maybe. I just feel like it doesn't match. But whatever, to each their own. But really great covered patio, 2 ceiling fans. Just moves the air around when we're stagnant. It doesn't really actually cool you off. But you do have a gas stub out over here, so you could have your barbecue. They do have electricity ran out here as well, so you could plug in speakers or whatever you want, right? But this is what I'm talking about when you're being built into a hill. So you have no steps off the backyard, but you do have a levels, tiered, as Steve says, a tiered backyard. Isn't that interesting? Level and levels, it's like the same word in different meanings. Anyway, but this is rock. So what I want to point this out, because we have some beautiful clients that just finished constructing and they have a backyard that is similar to this, and they kept asking where they imported these rocks from. Okay, this is what your homes are built on. Nobody imported these rocks, and I'm not making fun. This is just what you learn when you come to Texas. Definitely not making fun of anybody at all. These are not imported. This is what your foundation is built on. It's limestone, it's rock, it's not going anywhere. But again, the builders aren't gonna move these out. They're massive. They already had to move them out to build this, so they just stop, and then they tiered it to help with drainage. So they do purposely have the drainage going around your foundation. But overall, I kind of like the rock backyard, unless you wanted to put a playground, a trampoline, a pool. These rocks kind of cause some problems there. If you did want to level this backyard, you would have to put some sort of a retaining wall back there, and you would have to go through the architectural committee. It would be a whole ordeal, but it could be done. But you do have houses up here, so that is somebody else's backyard. So it would have to be done with care, but you do have that ability to do so. But drainage is a big deal on these homes. So as you can see, you have gutters here, and then they rock around the house, because we've had a lot of rain recently, but you can see the soil contracts and expands. So having that rock next to your foundation is great. You have shutters, for hurricane shutters for all of these windows. It's excessive, but you can see where the water's running. It is not coming here and pooling by the house at all. you can see where the water is running off this way and coming straight down. So it's doing what it's intended, the drainage to go away from the foundation. Again, your foundation's on rock, so it's probably not going anywhere. But overall, that's what you can expect. You're gonna have some homes in here that will have tiered backyards. Some of them will be flat and maybe more stairs at the front. It's just gonna depend on where the house is placed in the neighborhood. But overall, great outdoor space. Dogs can still run around. You could still put something up on those top tiers if you wanted to, like a playground, a trampoline, something. Maybe not too much, but what do you guys think of this one? Drop a comment, let us know. $700,000 is what this one house is going for. So I just want to talk on that a little bit. This one is 3,400 square feet plus, a little extra, but over 3,400 square feet, 5-bedroom, 3.5 baths. This is a very large home with those, media room, game room, office. It really checks all of those boxes. If you were to have a floor plan like this built with David Weekley or Sitterly, the same builders that are still here, in today's market, in a neighborhood similar to this, you'd be at $1 million plus, right? So to get this at 700, yeah, it's got some quirks. Yeah, you probably have to put in a little, right? Paint, some little things to make it your own, but 700 is pretty typical for this area. They might be priced a little high just for today's market of summer 2025. You do have some negotiation room. I would say anywhere from 15 to 30,000 on this house, depending on how motivated the sellers are, right? But overall, wonderful floor plan. It's beautiful. That's what we have for you for this home. Let's go check out another beautiful home that also happens to be one of my listings. So let's go check it out. All right, welcome to my beautiful listing. You've got a wrought iron door here. So we are here in Rogers Ranch in the garden home section of Point Bluff. So if you stick around, you'll see my beautiful map video that will give you an idea of how this neighborhood is laid out. But it's all a gated community. They're just different gated sections. We've shown you 2 different gated sections. Now we're in Point Bluff. There's Point Bluff and then there's the garden section of Point Bluff. This is the garden section. All that means is they were all built by Sitterly. They are stucco homes. They all look very similar with clay roofs, stucco homes, and there's an additional HOA in this section because they maintain the front yard, not the backyard. So you will never have to mow your front yard or maintain your bushes, anything like that. They come and lay new plants. They plant new plants. They lay sod and all of that to make sure all of your yard's beautiful. So in this section, typically you have smaller homes. This is one of the largest homes in the garden section, over 3,000 square feet, because we've got a really cool bonus room upstairs. This one on the market was sold in 1 week. We're closing next week, so I wanted to at least get you in so you could see how beautiful this is and what you could get on the top tier range price point for Rogers Ranch, right? This one is listed at $848. And we're sold. We're closing next week. But this is what you can get. Beautiful dining room here. Now this home has been completely remodeled. As you saw in the other homes that we just showed you, they are a little older, dated. This one was built in 2008. This seller chose to throw in $200,000 into renovation. And when I say renovation, she went big, right? She did structural things. So she made an otherwise closed off home with walls completely open, right? This is your entertainer's house. You've got a big living room. She changed out the fireplace. So there is a wood burning fireplace behind this. If you didn't want gas, you could probably change it back into a regular wood burning fireplace. And she added all of this beautiful tile all the way to the ceiling. She loves modern, so this one is very modern, right? You've got your eat-in kitchen here, so formal dining here, eat-in kitchen here. And this kitchen used to have like a last house where it had a bar and it was kind of half walls. She took all of it out, right? Made it very modern. You have cabinets under here for extra storage. She even went all out with the pull-out storage here. A big quartz with the waterfall edge all the way down, built-in fridge, gas cooking range, not in the island. So she took it out of the island too, had to run plumbing and gas lines moved in here, which is why the price point went so high, right? She added in these very modern pendants. And then let's take a look at this laundry room because you guys are gonna love this. So you've got almost like a butler's pantry here with the sink, extra cabinets. You've got room obviously for an extra fridge, washer, dryer. And then the goodness just keeps on coming. So you can come in here and you have even more storage. So she really went above and beyond. She hung all of her stuff here. Then you have more storage here, and then all of these are, so like, you could feed all your children and like hoard in here and have enough storage for a long time. Like Steve said, we could go to Costco and have lots of room to store things here. You also have an additional closet. She kept like her broom and stuff like that. But all of this is closet space. All of this is extra storage. Just really nice, right? It's just extra. And then you just have your standard 2-car garage. We won't go in there. They still have their Mustang in there. They're waiting to sell. But let's go take a look at all of these beautiful bedrooms and extras we have here. So as you come in off of the formal dining, you have 2 bedrooms. This is your first bedroom. Plantation shutters throughout. Closets are very similar to all the other houses, right? Typical size closets for your guest rooms. They went a little extra and added in these little sconces, side table lights, whatever you want to call them. This bathroom is a Jack and Jill. They completely renovated it, but you do have 2 sinks, tile floors that are non-slip, and then redid the showers as well. They're beautiful. And you have your second bedroom in here. This room is a little smaller, but good lighting, good fan. You've got a pretty good walk-in closet over here, if I remember correctly. Oh, just kidding, not walk-in, but it is a closet. And then as you come back out here, I want to point out this cute little section. A lot of these garden homes have this. Sitterly is known for this in a lot of their builds. They put this atrium in. So if you're a plant enthusiast and you know how to keep plants alive, I do not, you have this cute little area. So you get, there's no roof on it. You get natural sunlight. They put in a drain so you can water your plants and not worry about where the water's going. You even have a faucet and a plug out here. So you can have plants that you can look at while you're eating. This owner loved sculptures. She was very artistic. And so she had, she was not a plant person. So she put sculptures there. And they were just pretty to look at because you just have these big windows while you're eating your little eat-in kitchen here, and you can look at your plants or your whatever you want to put in there. You have an office over here, as well as a full bath that also has been renovated. I love that tile. I'm not a big modern person. I like country chic, but I think she did really, really good with all of these updates, right? So she made this an office. She put the clear glass in the door and put in built-ins. Now, You could turn this back into for a 4th bedroom if you wanted to. Technically, this one is a 3-bedroom with an office, but you could turn this into a 4th bedroom if you wanted to. But you've got shelving here and a gorgeous view, which we are saving the best for last, which is that view. And then the primary bedroom is on this side. Great big room. Obviously the largest room of the house. Very, very big. Also want to point out the baseboards. Big baseboards. I mean, this overhaul of this home really brought it like you're buying a brand new home, to be honest with you. She completely gutted this bathroom and redid it. Personally, purple is my favorite color. I love this bathroom. I love everything about this bathroom. I love the purple cabinets. I love the lights in the mirror. That skylight is so beautiful. You're gonna have basically daylight in here all the time. It's very bright, even without the lights. And then check out this walk-in shower. You've got 2 shower heads, and she tiled the ceiling as well. I just love it. Call me crazy. I love a purple room. When Steve and I first got together, he's probably gonna hate me. My office in my house was purple, and his first thing was like, the purple's gotta go. I couldn't stand it. So we painted the purple, but I really love purple. So built-in cabinets, drawers, all the things. She went extra in here, and I love this little room. You could make it a safe room if you wanted to. My cellar was really short, so she didn't even have to duck down here. But it's like a little cubby, and you could put a lock on this door if you wanted to. I really thought it was cool because she kept her, as Steve hits his head, she kept her jewelry in here, and I thought that was a really, really good idea, because you could put a lock on this door, and if you have really nice jewelry, that's just an extra added protection for yourself. You know, you never know. Things happen in this world, but having that extra protection for your diamonds is nice. But this is just gorgeous, right? She tiled to the ceiling. She spared no expense. That's what you would expect for this price point in this neighborhood. Now, we're gonna go upstairs just to show you. This is technically what we would consider a 1.5 story. So the only thing that's upstairs is a game room and a half bath. So we're gonna go check that out. All right, so we are upstairs in the game room. Big open space. Big open space. And then you have a half bath here. Just a little guy. But like, awesome. You can send the kids up here and play forever. And then there's like this additional bonus off the game room. So she used it as her gym. So she put her gym equipment here with the TV. Steve and I were talking earlier, I would make this more of a movie theater because the roof line slopes here. So you could put some really nice, like individual seating, like reclining chairs here. Whatever you want to do with it. You got really pretty skylights. And then you also have storage here. So again, attic, have radiant barrier to help it, but they put decking down for storage and easy access to your AC ducts, just in case you needed to get to them. You have that availability. Now, this house is amazing, but let's go show you the very best part of this location and this home. Let's go take a look outside. All right, guys, this patio and these views, you can't beat it. Look at this. Expansive views. It's stunning. So it used to be a quarry, as you can see, that dug out, and now it's homes. So you have a great covered patio here. with gas cooking. So she even has this cool little burner here for your gas burner. And then you've got a grill. This thing is heavy. So really cool outdoor kitchen here. Then you've got, you know, the stone here, and then it opens up into this Trex decking. But it's a really large patio, very beautiful. And then you do have a backyard. It's not really usable. I mean, you could. You don't have access to the below from the house. So you'd have to go on the exterior to go down. Most people here in the garden section don't want to deal with backyards and mowing grasses, so they just leave it, like she has crushed granite down there and lets it just be. So really no yard maintenance on this home. There are other homes that do maintain their backyards. There's a few over there with grass, but for this one, it's not. So I'm gonna come in the shade because I'm sweating already in Texas. What do you guys think? Drop me a comment, let me know. This home is already sold. We are closing on it next week. It is beautiful, but to get into the garden section here in Rogers Ranch, it is going to be a little higher price because you are getting top of the hill views. And so you can expect to be in this part of Rogers Ranch anywhere from $700 to $850. We are making a record here in Rogers Ranch with the sale of this one. And obviously it should. I mean, the owner put in a lot of money upgrading it to be very modern. Most of these homes are going to be a little more dated like you saw in the previous homes. Some owners will put the money in, some won't, but you can, and you can get that money back is really the point. We wanted to drive home here to show you in these neighborhoods, you're gonna get your money and your equity back because it's so sought after. The location is phenomenal. If you have watched any of our videos, especially the last one that we just put up last week about questions, our most frequently asked questions that we answered for you guys, I mentioned this neighborhood. This is my favorite neighborhood. If Steve and I could move anywhere in San Antonio, that's the question we get asked all the time. If Steve and I could move anywhere in San Antonio, what would be your place to move? He's gonna say Fair Oaks Ranch, I'm gonna say Rogers Ranch, because you're halfway in between 281 and I-10, close to everything. You can get to everything within 20 minutes from this neighborhood. So I personally really love it. You're close to the airport, but you're not getting all that airplane noise flying right over you. It is flying further away, so it's not on top of you like some other neighborhoods here in North San Antonio. So all that being said, let us know what you think. Drop us a comment. If you are looking to move into the San Antonio area, all of our information is listed right below. Steve and I would be honored to be your realtors of choice, and we would love to help you find the right home and the right community for you and your family. Stay tuned, don't leave. We're gonna give you a map video right after this so you can see just how amazing this neighborhood and its location is. All right, so now that we have showed you 3 gorgeous homes in Rogers Ranch, we're gonna jump on a map to show you exactly where this location is and see if it's the right fit for you. Let's dive in. All right, so here we are, San Antonio on the map. We're gonna go over a couple of housekeeping things, meaning I'm gonna go over some of the freeways to give you an idea of how San Antonio is set up and what main freeways you can anticipate in using when you move here. So we have our outer loop, which is 1604. This does go all the way around San Antonio on the exterior San Antonio. However, obviously San Antonio has grown outside of 1604, but that is how we consider it, is the outer loop. And then you have your inner loop, which is 410, loop 410, that goes around the inside, the inner loop of San Antonio. And you'll hear a lot of locals talk about inside 410 or outside 1604. That's pretty common to hear that language. Then you have other main freeways. You have I-35, which comes in this way. Now, I-35, if you take it north, takes you to New Braunfels, San Marcos, Austin, and all the way to Dallas, and then all the way to Canada if you wanted to follow it that way. But it does come 35, it turns into 410 for a little bit here, and then we'll go 35 south and out this way. You can also take 35 south to go down south, but it takes you to all of the oil and gas out that way as well in Von Army. And then you have 281, which is right here, and as it comes through San Antonio, it turns into I-37. But 281 goes north. If you're taking 281 north, that is going to take you to Spring Branch, Bulverde, Blanco, and those cities going north that way. Then you have I-10, which actually comes in San Antonio north and south and then jets out east. But if you're coming in, I-10 is going to take you from California all the way to Florida, but in San Antonio, it is actually the only place that it's north and south and then goes out west. But if you go north on I-10, it's technically west on I-10. That's going to take you to Boerne, to Kerrville, and then if you continue going up, it'll take you out towards El Paso and then on your way to California. If you take it going south, aka east, it'll take you out towards Houston and on your way out of Texas. Then you have I-90, which is the South Freeway here in San Antonio. I-90 turns into 10 going east, but if you're taking 90 west, that's going to take you out to Castroville, Del Rio, and into Mexico if you continue on that. And then we have some little ones, right? We have Highway 16, which we call it Bandera. So if you are visiting and you say Highway 16, we're all going to know you're not local because we call it Bandera Road. And then we have 211, which is our new road that will cut you from I-90 all the way up to Bandera Road. And then we have, the last one is Borsbach Parkway. This is a very small, I don't even know if we can really call it a highway, but it's a shortcut. It's great. They basically took you over all of the stoplights so you can get from I-35, drops you into Medical Center pretty easy. So really great shortcut without having to go south to 410 and then back up on I-10 to get to Medical Center. So that is a really great shortcut that we use all the time. All right, so those are your main freeways and how to get around San Antonio. Hopefully that will help you when you move here or when you're visiting here, just to know which freeways that you're looking out for and give you a picture of what you're looking for. So Rogers Ranch, let's zoom in here so I can show you exactly where Rogers Ranch is. It's North San Antonio. And Rogers Ranch is located right here. So all of this is Rogers Ranch. What is so great about the location? You are just off of 1604. You have lots of great roads. So you have Blanco Road here, which is going to have a lot of shopping. Your Whole Foods is going to be right there, as well as Target and a whole bunch of other shopping. Then you also have Stone Oak Parkway, which is right here. So again, you're going to have doctor's offices. There's a hospital there. There's a couple hospitals, a children's hospital. And then you also have a whole bunch of restaurants and little boutique shopping. And then you also have the biggest thing that I love about it is halfway in between 281 and I-10. So a lot of, at least for me, you do a lot of driving in this area. A lot of the things that you're going to use on a day-to-day basis are really in between, at least in my opinion, is like right here. So you're really a prime location to everything and anything in the area. And then you also throw in like the international airport is right here. So it's a straight shot. They have new ramps. So you really just do this ramp right here to go straight down 281. Super easy, low traffic, especially when they finish 1604. They're widening it as of July of 2025. So it'll be even better when they make that 4 lanes each way. but you do have that ramp, so you don't have to get off stoplight. You just take a ramp over the overpass and takes you right to the airport. So you're about 15 to 20 minutes to the airport, which is fantastic. You have H-E-B, your grocery store. You have lots to choose from. So let's zoom in there so I can show you the grocery stores that are close to you. Because this is kind of a big deal. So as you can see, Rogers Ranch is right here, and I was pretty spot on. It's gonna run like this. Something like that. Anyway, so you have Trader Joe's, awesome, super great. You have Whole Foods, you have Costco, you have an H-E-B Plus, all right here. Right next to this H-E-B, you also have a Lowe's. So, I mean, what else do you need, really, right? I'm just kidding. So Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, Costco, H-E-B. You have 4 grocery stores to choose from. If you do want to do a little driving, which isn't far, I mean, we're talking 15, 20 minutes, you could come over on this part, and then you have Sprouts, which would make you 5 grocery stores, all within 5 to 10 minutes of you. But I just really love it because it's easy access. You also have Blanco here. So yes, you have Whole Foods, but you also have a Target. Everybody loves Target. And then you have some really, really good restaurants in this shopping center right here. And then of course in Stone Oak, you have some really good restaurants. You can see you've got hospitals, North Central Baptist Hospital. You've got the Methodist Hospital here. And then there's a children's hospital over here as well. But overall, super easy access. They also just put in a new Chick-fil-A over here as well. They moved it from over here by Costco over to closer to the Vineyard and Rogers Ranch. So, you know, I always bring up Chick-fil-A because that seems to be a really big deal. When a Chick-fil-A is hopping in that area is super popular. So all of that is your location and how easy access Rogers Ranch is. The only other thing that I wanted to show you on the map is how close it is to Fiesta, Texas, and I-10 and the Rim. So if we just move you over a little more to the west, we have Rogers Ranch here, 1604, and you have the I-10 corridor here. So the Rim, La Cantera, the Rim is the Palladium, so it's got a really big movie theater. It's got a kind of a bowling alley. Steve and I don't like the bowling alley because the pins are on strings. So interesting fact about Steve and I, we are avid bowlers. It's something we really enjoy doing, but we like real bowling, not bowling with strings on the pins. But you do have Barrel and Bowl in the Rim. And then you also have lots of really good restaurants. So Postino is one of my favorite restaurants there in the Rim. And then across I-10, you have La Cantera, which is a gorgeous outdoor shopping center. And you have all your name brand stuff, right? Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Dior. So you have like your high-end name brand stuff, but then you also have all of your normal shopping, right? Dillard's, what else do they have there? JCPenney's, Forever 21, I think just shut down. So not Forever 21. But you do have, you know, Ann Taylor. I'm listing all the girls shops because I'm assuming the girls really care about that. Guys, maybe not so much, but they have a lot of stuff. Like I just took my son there for back to school shopping. He goes to the Vans store. That's his thing. So really nice shopping center. You have shopping for everything in that location. You also have Six Flags right here. You also have the Rock, which is a really cool like Spurs basketball thing that they just put up over there by La Cantera. And then you also have some new restaurants and shopping center on your way to La Cantera Mall, which is really cool. They have the Panaderia, which is a really great breakfast place. If you like some sweetbread, that is the place to go. And then they have Box Street, which is a really great brunch place over there. And then a new ramen place popped up there. So lots of great things to do. In my opinion, if you live in Rogers Ranch, you are 15 to 20 minutes from everything you will need in the city of San Antonio. Getting to downtown is the only thing that would take you probably 20 to 30 minutes just because you are far north central San Antonio. So from Rogers Ranch to Rogers Ranches here to downtown San Antonio, like the zoo, you would just jump on 281 from 1604, and that would take you 20-30 minutes depending on traffic and time of day. All right guys, so that is all that I have for you on the map video. Hopefully it was super helpful and just gave you an idea of where this great neighborhood is located. I do also want to remind you that every house in Rogers Ranch is behind a gate. So it is a gated community. You also have some other great neighborhoods in that area, like the Vineyard, and some other really great ones. However, I personally feel that Rogers Ranch is the most peaceful and quiet. We have noticed when we're in the Vineyard, you kind of get some freeway noise because it's right there off Blanco and 1604. So Rogers Ranch, the developer, did a great job really pushing those homes back, keeping all the trees to help with noise and all of that. And you're not really in a direct pattern of the airport noise either. So you do hear airplanes, but it's not like directly over your head where you can see the wheels popping down from the airplane. So overall, just a really great neighborhood, great location, and you really can't go wrong with Rogers Ranch. If this video is helpful for you, please let us know. We love to hear your feedback, and we love just hearing from you in general. If it's something that you and your family are interested in, all of our information is listed right below. If you love the neighborhood but not necessarily the location, reach out to Steve and I. We'd be happy to help advise you on other neighborhoods that might fit you and your family the best. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we will see you guys on the next one.